when I think back on it. God, it was ridiculous. One summer, hanging out, we saw a lime green taxi. Being from New York, taxis were either Lincoln Town cars or they were the yellow cabs. This was a lime green taxi. We had never seen this shit before, okay? Never. I remember seeing it, and I was like, Carrie, did you see that? And she kind of caught a glimpse of it, but not really. And the second time, she was like, holy shit, that's really weird. We came up with an entire theory and storyline about how these cabs must have been magical. Mind you, we were teenagers. Okay, we were teenagers and we were talking completely seriously. We thought these cabs must have been from the future. Little did we know, New York City was making an initiative at the time with their taxi cabs, painting them green for like economic change and all that other stuff, like, go green. We did not know any of this. And when we started seeing them more, we kind of pieced like, okay, maybe this isn't magical. But at the time, we were only seeing that one. And it would happen every, kind of every so often. And we fantasized this entire theory over it. And I missed that level of imagination that I used to have even as a teenager. We're going to take a quick break. And when I come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the beliefs that I had and kind of where I feel like my innocence was lost. Okay, so we are back. And where I left off was that, me and Carrie we were deciding to believe that these taxis were a part of something bigger. And at the time, I remember wanting so hard to believe in that because it wasn't so much that I cared that they were from the future. I mean, that's pretty fucking cool. But it was more so I wanted to believe that something like that was capable of happening, because at the time that this was happening, I felt like there was so much that I wanted to change about myself and my life. And I wanted to put my life on the path of things where I wanted to be, but so much had already gone wrong at that point. She was my rock throughout high school, and we got into, in our college days, and before I left for the service, I want to say that maybe that like year and a half after high school before I left for the service was kind of trying, because we didn't really have high school anymore. And I guess we were trying to find our footing as friends. And there were things that it meant a lot to me. I hate saying that I'm this kind of person, but it's the truth. I am 100% high maintenance. I'm not high maintenance in the sense that you got to buy me a Gucci bag. I'm not high maintenance in the sense that I only like high quality things, because to be honest, I'm a little bit of a savage. But I'm high maintenance in the sense that I want your attention. I want your devotion to me. I didn't like that Carrie had other friends. I would never act on it. I would never, be crazy, visibly crazy. But I did not like that she had other friends. I didn't like that when I had somebody that I liked, if they weren't, I didn't like the sense of competition, that weird, awkward stage when you're talking to somebody that you really, really like. Because I'm easy for that. I'm really easy to, if you show me a good side of you and we click and I feel like we're clicking, if I see that, I want to be the object of your affection. And I've always wanted to know, why is it as easy as saying, I like you, you like me, let's click. Not click in the sense of what I was talking about with me and my partner clicking. Click like, why can't we just mesh together and decide that we want to speak with one another? And the reason why I feel that way is because I'm a very loyal individual, and I give my 100% all for something that I really want. So if I decide that I like you and that I want you, I already know that I am going to be one track mind. I'm going to be focused on you and only you. And from here on out, I can do everything for you that would make you happy as a person. I am not interested in in figuring it out. I'm not interested in doing any of that. I am one of those people that's like, flaws and all, I will take you because I've decided that as a whole, I like you. So that awkward stage where, even as an adult, you're like, it is a red flag when you see somebody that's like, hey, I like you because I just met you yesterday and we've been talking for 2 days now. So would you be my girlfriend? That is a super red flag. It really is. But I'm a red flag, not in a bad sense, but I'm like that. It's not because I'm crazy. It's because I like to devote myself to something, and I like to devote myself to someone. I feel like that in turn can chase people away. I'm even like that as a friend. If we're friends, I want to hang out all the time. I want to share all of my personal secrets. I want to consider you a soul sister. I want to do all of this because I like having a person to give all of myself to, because me holding on to all of this on the inside, it's overwhelming. And I want somebody to share it with. Me and my brother growing up, it was a goddamn disaster. It really was. There were some times where we were closer than nobody else on this earth. And there were other times where I was just like, God, as he got older and other things got important to him, and he just became, I feel like, a different person. It sucked. And I always felt like my brother was my mom's favorite. So that further sucked. I wasn't funny. I wasn't calm, cool, and relaxed. I was a very high-strung kid, and I was super fucking weird, and I would read in my closet and put lights in there and blankets and create a fort, and I would lose myself in there for hours in books. As time went on, I think I just experienced too many things that I wouldn't say that they were outright devastating, but they were devastating to the kind of person that I was. So I believe in love. I believe in romance. I believe in devotion. For somebody like me, things like infidelity can really ruin something. I had a set plan. I was supposed to get a slamming ass job. I was supposed to get married, and I was supposed to have a kid. In that order. Got the slamming ass job when I went into the service. My kid's dad me and him weren't committing. We weren't together. So I got married to the first clown who fucking asked. It wasn't exactly the highlight of my life, but now I was on track. I had a slamming ass career and I was getting married. Boom, set. None of the other schematics mattered to me because it didn't matter if I was in love or not in love with this person. I was going to do my best to be the best damn wife anybody ever had, and I would be happy because my life would be stable. I was not happy, but I still played my part. Once I realized my marriage was over, and I found my way back to my kid's dad, I was now getting divorced. So marriage was out the window. I found out that I was pregnant. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get divorced and I want to marry him because he is the only person that, like, I had feelings for him already. I know this isn't just I want to get married because the commitment is cute. When I first saw him, for the very first time that I saw him, I was like, oh, this is going to be the person that I marry. Maybe not now, but this is going to be the person that I marry. And so when I got divorced, I was like, oh my God, it's going to feel so good to be in a marriage with somebody who wants to be in this with me, and I want to be in it with you, and we're having a baby and everything is great. I got divorced, marriage out the window. I got pregnant. And then I also decided to leave the service because I was going home to New York to have my baby there, because if we weren't married, nobody was going to pay for our lifestyle. I was going to continue living in the barracks as a single soldier. So I was like, okay, well, we're not married. And I'm not sure that getting married just because we're having a baby is a good thing, because there was no, we talked a good game, but I didn't really see any indicators of marriage pending at all. So, slamming ass job out the window. So now I was on the last step of my list, pregnant, and I was not married, and I had no job. That to me caused a panic of immense proportions. I cannot begin to describe to you how disappointed I was in myself. And then I got to this point where I was like, I need to fix this. I need to fix this part of my life because my plan is going awry. But I got divorced, and there was not a hint of marriage in my future. And then I found myself trying to bring it up and have it happen, and I was failing miserably. And then I found myself on unemployment. Like, you don't understand how devastating it is to one's core and one's spirit when you are not where you want to be in life. And I can understand in a sense that I was speaking in a previous podcast about how this happened with my partner, that it was, I feel like for men, when you have nothing to offer somebody else, in the sense that you're not in the right place financially and you still got other stuff going on, it can be, who the hell wants to get married? Who? Nobody. So for me, I powered ahead, but I didn't feel a sense of complete in my life. At that point, I didn't even feel like, I was second guessing every decision that I had made because none of it was panning out the way that I wanted it to. It is not a good feeling when you're second guessing your life when you already have a kid on the way. But I'm the kind of person, I always played it like I was sure. Always. We can overcome anything. We can supersede anything as long as it's about love. But that destroyed my soul and my faith. And I was becoming less and less of this person who had hopes and dreams and was in love with love and had all these plans for our growing family. And I became bitter. I became unfulfilled. And I started to second guess myself. And right about this time is when my mental health started to really spiral. And I felt I couldn't handle it. I hadn't laughed in so long. I had spent my days crying. I was not okay. I just wish I could describe to you guys that feeling. It's going to make me emotional talking about it, but not believing in love anymore. I'm sitting here wondering, what am I supposed to tell? I have 2 daughters. How am I supposed to explain to them that at some point I lost faith in love because it didn't work out for me? And the mistakes that I made, when you feel like you're not being loved, when you feel like you're not enough for anybody, you fall into this place where it's like, I need it. I need to feel like somebody likes me because I don't like me right now. I don't feel like there's anything good about me. And how is anybody supposed to feel like I'm